Platforms like the BBC say they're committed to strengthening their response to hate speech on social media channels. The problem still persists on the wider web.
As an older athlete, I think, and this is very unfortunate because I shouldn't see it this way, I've almost got used to, and that's, as I say that out loud, it's a terrible thing to say. And every time I put the hashtag or I talk about it, there's always abuse that comes on my feed. And for me, as someone that's openly gay, it's something that definitely would have deterred me, I think, as a youngster.
Women's sport has advanced in recent years to the point it's now considered mainstream. But female athletes are still waiting for attitudes to catch up. Jane Dougal, BBC News.
Now, snooker giant Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't hold back during his post-game interviews, and the Rocket has done it again. This is what he said when asked why he was still beating players so much younger than him.
If you look at the younger players coming through, they're not that good really, do you know what I mean? And most of them are like, you know, wouldn't even make, they'd probably do well as half decent amateurs, do you know what I'm saying? Well, not even amateurs, I mean, they're so bad that, you know, a lot of them that you see now, you just think, oh, I've probably got to lose an arm and a leg to sort of fall outside the top 50, do you know what I mean?
A metal detectorist says he was left shaking with happiness after discovering a set of Bronze Age artefacts in a field in the Scottish borders. Experts say the find is of national significance. It includes a complete horse harness preserved by the soil and a sword. James Shaw reports.
Moments before this photograph was taken, Marius Stepien realised that he had discovered something extraordinary. His metal detector had located a treasure trove of pieces up to 3,000 years old.
I never see these objects and decide stop because this is more and more important objects.
It is one of the most important finds from the Bronze Age there's ever been in Scotland, a complete horse harness, which for the first time will allow experts to understand how this piece of ancient technology was put together. A sword still in its scabbard was also found, and part of the axle of a chariot. Archaeologists spent weeks working at the site before the items were ready to be moved to Edinburgh for further investigation.
We sent the images over to some specialists to have a look at, and it came back that they thought they were Bronze Age. Knowing that Marius had stopped digging and was still getting signals, that's when it became very exciting because we knew there was still material in the ground, and that gives a lot of potential.
These pieces of the past must have belonged to a significant individual, a tribal chief perhaps, or warlord. It will be some months before work on the hoard is completed, and members of the public will be able to see for themselves this remarkable insight into Scotland's ancient history. James Shaw, BBC News, Glasgow.
Time to look at the weather. Here's Thomas Schaffenecker.
Simon, thank you. Well, a few more days of heat on the way across the southeast of the UK, but of course storms are the big story in the forecast now, and it just so happens that in the short term the storms will be affecting areas which haven't really suffered too much from the heat so far. Flash flooding is certainly possible, not just today but in the days ahead, as we see those gusty showers with hail and thunder. And this is what's happening right now. So we've got the heat across eastern and southeastern areas. You can see mostly clear skies, at the most maybe hazy sunshine, but the real active area of weather is here across parts of southwestern England and into Wales, and there have been some torrential downpours in the last few hours. But of course this is where it's been relatively fresh compared to the southeast. The capital, there's still enduring temperatures in the mid-30s. This afternoon, and as I say, the heat wave is going to continue for really most of this week. So the storms, they could be particularly nasty for a time this evening around the northwest of England. But here, temperatures mostly in the high teens, maybe 20 degrees there in the southwest. But across the southeast of England at 11 o'clock, it's still going to be around about 25 Celsius. And then tomorrow morning, maybe some showers there across northern areas, and we're going to do it all over again. The southeast, once again, getting temperatures up to around 34 degrees. Back to you.
Thomas, thank you very much. That's all from the BBC News at 1. On BBC One, we join the BBC's news teams where you are. From me, a very good afternoon.
Students in Wales say they've been struggling to make ends meet during lockdown. Cardiff University student Rowan Maddock says she's had to sell her own clothes online to pay for rent. And as if the prospect of undergoing open heart surgery wasn't daunting enough, 7-year-old Braden had to do it during a global crisis. Good afternoon. Some universities in Wales say since the start of lockdown, they've seen almost a 200% rise in students applying for emergency financial support. Many students say they've been unable to find the part-time work they would normally rely on to make ends meet. Will Fife has more.
So I've laid out some of the bits on my bed which I'm trying to sell on Depop. It ranges from tops to shorts, and essentially some of the clothing I was still wearing, but I think right now it's more important for me to have the money to pay my rent for September rather than having more clothing.
19-year-old Rowan Maddock is going into her second year at Cardiff University. But after applying for almost 60 jobs, she's been unable to find the work she needs to support herself. She's now resorted to selling her clothes on a second-hand clothing app called Depop as a last attempt to make ends meet.
There's no money coming in for me besides things that I'm selling online, and I didn't think I would ever have to sell belongings that I actually like and that I wouldn't want to get rid of, but I'm having to make ends meet now. Anything I'm getting from selling clothing, I'm just putting aside, and that will go towards my September rent. I've also got an Instagram account that I'm trying to build up my following because I thought that would be a way to get money from companies in order to promote stuff for them, which I've seen a lot of people doing recently, so I know that it does work, and I thought it'd be a good way to get some income.
If you hadn't started university yet and you were maybe looking at going this year and you found yourself in this situation,
I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have gone at all.
Rowan is not alone. Most universities we asked said they'd seen a large increase in a number of students coming to them for help.
I think it's a really big concern for a lot of students. A lot of students are now weighing up, do they go to university or not, based on their finances. They could fall behind on rent payments, they could fall behind on bills, car payments, even travelling to university or being able to get some food or, a hot meal in the canteen, or, we hear about the phrase of heating versus eating. And for some students, that is absolutely, that's how they live week to week.
Universities say they're doing everything that they can to support students, but with up to a 90% drop in job opportunities in some areas like retail and hospitality, it's likely many will face increasingly difficult choices come September.
Gyms, leisure centres and swimming pools in Wales can reopen from today. Children's indoor play areas will also be able to open, although areas such as ball pits, which can't be easily cleaned, will remain closed. One gym goer shared his feelings about the reopening of gyms today.
It's brilliant, yeah. It's been struggling at home, but I've been getting on with it, sort of thing, pushing through. I know a lot of people have cancelled and they're not doing a lot at home, so they need somewhere to come and a place to train and get away from the real world sort of thing. It's brilliant. We come in, there's a great group of people coming in, and you have a chat, you can have a laugh.
Two of Wales's police forces recorded an increase in drink-drive arrests between March and July this year, compared to the same period last year. During that time, Gwent Police arrested 223 people for drink driving, a rise of 9%. South Wales Police recorded a similar increase. Drug driving arrests were up in all 4 force areas. Meanwhile, one family from Pembrokeshire, who are still feeling the effects of a drink-drive collision 2 years ago, have pleaded for people to listen to warnings.
Yes, people want their lives back, people want to enjoy, I understand that, but it's enjoyment, and there's also the risk that you could destroy your life or somebody else's by doing something that you know you shouldn't. The law is there for a reason.
A-level students across the country will be getting their results on Thursday based on work up until lockdown, as this year's exams were cancelled. It's an uncertain time for many, but some more than others. 18-year-old Gwenllian Griffiths helped to care for her father, who became very ill with COVID-19 at the beginning of lockdown in March. She's been speaking to BBC Wales about her experiences.
This summer was supposed to be the best summer of our lives. Everybody aims for that summer where everybody goes on post-A-level holidays. We had all that planned. So our last summer of school, per se, has been very different, and it's been hard not to have that amazing summer to close everything off.
The parents of a little boy who had open heart surgery during the pandemic have spoken of their petrifying choice between an operation to save his life and the risks of him catching coronavirus. Braden Ball's family always knew he'd have to have surgery, but they never imagined it would be during a global health crisis. Now he's making a remarkable recovery, as Nicola Smith reports.
I'm a survivor. And no one would disagree with that. 7-year-old Braden is getting stronger each day. These images, a world away from the ones taken in hospital just weeks ago. Braden was born with a condition which prevents the pulmonary heart valve forming properly. His parents always knew this operation would be needed. But as his health deteriorated during lockdown, they realised they had a very difficult decision to make.
Because he was such high risk, you had that fear whether he was going to catch it, and because he was so vulnerable, and that's what scared me, because nothing's safe, obviously, out there, and it was like me putting his life at risk, potentially putting him at risk, but then I got to that situation that if he doesn't have it, he could die, and he could die at home, and that's what scared me more. It was scary to see the anaesthetist all kitted up, and they look as if they come from space. Basically, that's how it was, and it was scary. Then when he was put asleep, it's like, what happens now?
What happened was remarkable. 5 days after the 8-hour operation, he was home.
It says, I survived open heart surgery.
Now Braden's keen to show everyone his scar and is clear about what he'd like to do once he's stopped shielding at home in the Rhondda.
Where would you like to go on holiday?
Disneyland.
This little boy has gone through so much throughout his life, and then he goes through this surgery and pandemic. I'm so proud.
Emma Ball ending that report there from Nicola Smith. Snooker now, and Llanelli's Jamie Clark is out of the World Championships. He lost by 12 frames to 13 against Anthony McGill at the Crucible last night. Meanwhile, Wales's 3-time champion Mark Williams takes on Ronnie O'Sullivan in the quarters this afternoon. Well, let's take a look at the weather now. And Sabrina, some thunder this morning.
Hi Morgan, thanks. Good afternoon. Yes, there has been some thunderstorms so far. It has been quite a lively morning across parts of Wales. And in fact, we do have a series of thunderstorm warnings expected until Thursday. At the moment, the warnings are widespread as there is the risk for some disruption. Now, so far today, the thunderstorms have mainly been in the southwestern quarter of Wales, over Pembrokeshire, Carmarthenshire and into Ceredigion. And through the coming hours, further showers and thunderstorms are expected. These becoming increasingly widespread, and again some are expected to be on the heavy side with the risk for some frequent lightning, hail, gusty winds and some torrential downpours. But saying that, some places will remain dry altogether, and there are some breaks in the cloud, especially the further east you are, to allow for a few brighter or sunny spells. And in terms of top temperatures today, they will be in the southeast with highs locally of 29 Celsius. Then this evening and overnight, those showers do become more isolated, leaving most places dry with some clear periods. But with the humidity, it will be quite a sticky night to come, an uncomfortable night's sleep for some people, with lows of around 15 to 17 Celsius. As for tomorrow, it will be largely dry during the morning, but as the day progresses, further thunderstorms will spread in from the south. Again, some of these are expected to be on the heavy side and possibly disruptive, with top temperatures once again peaking in the southeast at 28 Celsius. Now, through Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, we expect this low pressure system over the Bay of Biscay to track further northwards, and spiralling around this low will be frontal systems, which will bring the risk of further showers or longer spells of rain. So Wednesday itself, quite similar to Tuesday. As the day goes on, we do see an increasing risk of thunderstorms, and that's the latest forecast. Morgan.
Thank you very much, Sabrina. Well, that's Wales Today. Jennifer Jones will be here at 6:30 this evening with your next update. But until then, have a good afternoon. Goodbye. Hwyl fawr.
It's another series of Animal Park! Come
Come and join the party. Brand new Animal Park. Starts next Monday at 10 on BBC One and iPlayer.
Dating is weird this year. Fall in love with box sets instead.
Jackpot.
We have come up with a list.
This changes everything.